So you're getting ready to use your VA loan to buy a house in Onslow County, North Carolina. But then you're told you need to pay an earnest money deposit and possibly a due diligence fee to even get an offer accepted. But the VA loan is 100% financing, right? My name is Jackie Jones with your Elite Realty Group, and today I'm going to explain how both the earnest money deposit and the due diligence fee work and how they function in a transaction. But before we begin, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button below if you are finding value in these videos so that I know what topics you are most interested in. So let's get started. So let's start with the due diligence fee. The due diligence fee is going to be paid directly to the sellers, and you're essentially compensating the sellers for taking the home off the market and allowing you time to investigate the property and negotiate any requested repairs. This fee is not refundable unless the seller breaches. So when you're talking with your real estate agent about how much you're going to offer in due diligence fee, you want to make sure that this is an amount that you are comfortable potentially losing if something were to happen with either the house or the financing or any other variables that come up in a transaction. Now, in our North Carolina offer to purchase, the due diligence fee is not necessary to create a due diligence period, but it makes your offer stronger because you're willing to compensate the seller for taking their home off the market, because if you look at it from the listing side, they take their home off the market and they get 3 weeks down the road and then the buyer backs out, they've lost time. They've potentially lost money if it comes to moving or selling. If they needed to sell their property in order to buy another home, they've lost out on time. Now, the earnest money deposit is going to be your show of good faith. And this money does not go to the seller right away. It is going to be held in an escrow account by an escrow agent. And that's going to be determined in the contract. Now, the due diligence period allows you to have time to do your inspections. It's generally about 2 to 3 weeks in our area. Could be shorter, could be longer. All of these things are negotiated in the contract. So if you, as the buyer, decide that for whatever reason you are not going to move forward with the transaction, if you terminate the contract prior to the end of your due diligence period, then that earnest money deposit is due back to you. Now, if you terminate after that due diligence period, even if it's just by 1 day, that earnest money deposit goes to the sellers. So at the end of the transaction, both the due diligence fee and the earnest money deposit will be applied to the purchase of the home. But what if you're using a loan type that doesn't have a down payment, like the VA loan, which we have so many buyers using their VA loan benefit in Onslow County? Well, if you don't have a down payment, those amounts will go towards your closing costs, and then any extra will be refunded to you. Now, both the due diligence fee and the earnest money deposit are both negotiable. There's no set amount that you have to offer to the seller, and there's no right or wrong answer on whether or not you're going to offer both, one or the other, or even any at all. Your real estate broker should be working with you to determine what is going to help you write the strongest offer while still staying in your comfort zone. For example, if you're not comfortable losing $3,000, you should not be advised to offer $3,000 towards the due diligence fee. Now, if you're putting an offer on a house that has just hit the market and it's everything that you need and want in a home, and you know that there's going to be multiple offers, you and your real estate broker may decide to offer a higher due diligence fee and a lower earnest money deposit because you want to write the strongest offer possible. All of these variables change depending on the house, depending on the buyer, and depending on what your needs are. So there's no right or wrong answer on how much you should offer. I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about how the North Carolina offer to purchase works and how it could be different from states that you've bought and sold previously. If you found value in this video, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button to let me know that this is the kind of content that you like. If you'd like to schedule a Zoom call or an in-person meeting with me, I have a link in the description box that's a little new. It's called Use Motion, and it's a new software that I'm using to work directly with my calendar. So for example, I was using Calendly, and for that, I put in specific blocks of time and just made sure that I didn't schedule anything within those blocks of time. And it was a little restrictive for some people that were requesting meetings with me because those times may not work for you. So what Motion does is it looks at my calendar and everything that I have scheduled, and it finds chunks of time that it can offer that may or may not be within those blocks that I put in the Calendly app. So if you would like to schedule a Zoom call with me, go ahead and click that Motion app. And if none of those times work, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is in the description box. And as always, if you're working with a North Carolina real estate broker, you need to make sure that they go over the North Carolina Working with Real Estate Agents disclosure with you at first substantial contact. If you're not sure what that is, I have a video on my channel that explains all of it. Thanks. Have a great one.